So how's it going, everyone? Today we're going to be having a look at the Garmin 645 Music, which is just on my wrist here. So this watch has been out since 2018. I've had it for the past two and a half months, probably 2.5 months now. I've been using it. So is it still a good watch to buy now at the end, right the end of 2021? Let's find out. So why did I want this watch? Pretty much I already have a couple of other sports watches, running watches. I've got a couple of Suntos. So I've got the Ambit 3 Peak and I've got the Spartan Sport. Both good watches, but neither of them did exactly what I wanted them to do at the moment. So I was looking for a watch that basically read my heart rate and did intervals as well. So the other watches will do, one of them will do heart rate, the other one doesn't do it at all, but neither of them do interval training. And I wanted to have a watch so I could set myself some goals and train efficiently. So I got the 645 Music. So the watch itself is very small, much smaller face than my other watches, but it's got a clear screen and I can read it clearly when I'm out and about. So small, thin, lightweight, much smaller and lighter than any other watch I've had, to be honest. Most of my other watches I've had in the past have been big, chunky watches. So this felt really petite when I put it on. And I was initially a bit, oh, am I going to be able to read the screen okay? But no problem at all. I can see the screen. It's got Gorilla Glass, and the glass is slightly lower than the bezel as well. So it's a strong glass, shouldn't scratch, and with it being set down ever so slightly, you shouldn't catch it on things either. It comes with, somewhere around here, comes with, it's like a crocodile clip charger, which is I was going to say it's a bit big, but it's actually smaller than my previous crocodile chargers. So that's how you charge it up, and it charges really quickly as well. Battery life on it, it lasts, when you've got the GPS enabled, it lasts up to 14 hours. So if you're thinking what sort of distance run can you do if you have this watch, a run up to, I wouldn't like to push it to 14 hours, I've not tested it to that, but that's what they claim it to be. But if you know you're going to be within that kind of time period for a run, then the GPS mode will work fine. If you're using the GPS and music at the same time, if you're doing a marathon for instance, or anything less, it will last about 5 hours. So if you're going to be listening to music and having the GPS recording your activity, it'll last around about the 5 hours point. If you're just wearing it as a watch and you're not actually using GPS for a while, then the battery will last 7 days. And as I say, when you plug it in and charge it, I haven't timed how quickly it charges, but it does charge really quickly. So charging time is really quick. It's good. The strap as well. The strap is very lightweight, very comfortable, and you can change the straps as well. They do different coloured straps, so you're interchangeable. So if you want to brighten up your day, change your mood, stick on a different coloured strap, you are able to do that. So the screen itself, it's a colour screen. It's not a touch screen, which is great because I'm not a big fan of touch screens on watches. So I've had touch screens before and you can be swiping away. It's not quite doing what you want it to. If it's raining, it doesn't work properly, the touch screen. And if it's cold, if you got gloves on, it doesn't work. So I much prefer buttons, and it's got 5 clear, well spaced out, easy to learn buttons, which I'll go through with you now. So here we go, I've taken the watch off. Let's hope it focuses on the watch instead of me. So the top left, if you press that once, it puts the light on. If you press and hold, it brings up a menu, and you can scroll through the menu to get to different activities. And I'll not go through all of these because I'd be here all day if I did. So there's loads of other videos which will go in depth on these, but there are loads of different functions on there. So that's me scrolling through them there. Bottom left should be the back button. So that was, top left was light. Press and hold was to bring up that menu. The middle button that scrolls through some activities. So I can't see the screen from here. You can, but I'm pretty sure this is telling you things like notifications, weather, steps and such like. And if you press and hold the middle button, that'll bring up a different settings menu. Press the back button to get out of that. So the bottom left button, if I press that one, that scrolls. Or if I press and hold, I think I just press and hold there, that should have brought up the music choices. And then you can scroll through and play your different music choices. But if you just press that bottom button just there, it'll scroll. So top left, this is all back to front for me. Top left is light and menu. Middle button is scroll up and a different menu settings, and the bottom left is down, and if you press and hold it brings up your music choices. So on the music, you can connect the watch to Spotify and different apps. I use Spotify. So when you go on Spotify, you can put 500 different tracks on the watch, which is loads. To be honest, I have used it to listen to music, but only to test it out. Generally, if I'm out and about, I'll have my phone with me anyway. So if I'm going to be listening to music, I'll probably listen to it through my phone. But if you didn't have your phone with you, or if you don't like to take your phone on a run, then you could use the watch to listen to music. So it will pair with your headphones. There's a pairing button on there, and it'll search out and find your headphones. Apps, absolutely loads of apps out there. You access the apps via Garmin Express. So as I just said, you can put on things like Spotify. There's loads of different watch faces, watch configurations, so you can have whatever information on the screen that you want. I've actually custom, where are we? If I come out of that. So how I've got it just there, I've just set that for myself. So at the top I've got the battery, I've also got the date and the amount of steps I've done that particular day. But you can set it up for loads more extravagant. That's probably about as bland a screen as you could get, but it's kind of what I like. It's just got the information that I want on it. You can also get different workouts through different apps. So access the apps through Garmin Express. Download different workouts. You can get a couch to 5K kind of workout. You can get surfing apps, step counters, the amount of stairs that you've been up. So how have I been using the watch? What sort of features have I been using? So as a day-to-day kind of thing, it'll tell me things like if I've got an incoming call. On the incoming calls, you can accept the call on the watch. I keep looking at my wrist, but it's actually over here. You can accept calls on the watch, but you can't actually speak or listen from the watch. So it sounds a bit weird. Jake's got he's got a Samsung watch, and he can actually speak and listen directly to the watch. You can't do that on this one, but I have found it handy for declining calls. So if my phone's in my pocket and somebody's phoning me, instead of delving in trying to find my phone out of a bag or my pocket, I can glance at my watch and it'll tell me who's calling, and I can either accept or decline the call. So that is quite a handy feature, being able to decline it. You can answer it, and then you still have to go and find your phone and speak to it via your phone. So other things, it'll tell you standard sort of smartwatch things. It'll tell you when you got emails, notifications. So if somebody sends you a WhatsApp or a text message or something, you can actually read the message, and there's little shortcuts as well, so you can send a quick reply to whoever it is who sent you the message. So that's been handy. It also tells you things like it's got your calendar on there, so it will remind you if you've got any events, if you've got a dentist appointment or something coming up and that's on your calendar, it will link to your watch to remind you. It'll tell you the weather as well, local update, what the sort of temperature is, loads of different things like that, loads of features on it. And what else? It's got step counter, sleep counter, sleep mode, heart rate, stress mode as well. So those sort of things. Sleep mode, I wore the watch every day for the first month, 24 hours a day for a month. Well, apart from when I went for a shower, but we won't go into that. But I was intrigued into finding out what it would tell me about sleep mode. So it does record your sleep information. For me, I wasn't overly sold on that actual feature. It would tell me that I was asleep when I was awake watching TV, for instance, or it would tell me last night, yeah, you had a really good sleep, load of deep sleep. And it would be on a particular night where I didn't sleep well at all, slept absolutely rubbishly. So I did persevere, carried on wearing it for a month, trying out the sleep mode, but I wasn't sold on that. So I stopped wearing it to bed after I'd given it a good test. Step counter's been really good. Works, I think it's fairly accurate. If I've been out doing loads of steps, it certainly tells me I've done plenty. You can set limits on your watch as well, so you can have sort of targets, so you can make it so you've got 10,000 steps a day, for instance. You can have it whatever you want it to be. Step mode has been good. The stress mode has also been good. It's certainly told me at points where I know I've been stressed. The graph has gone up. I've gone back later in the evening, checked the graph, and it's certainly rose when I know I've had stressful moments throughout a day. I do need to work on that though, because if it is that accurate, I'm stressed much more than I should be. So yeah, I need to chill out a bit. Chill out. So heart rate, it records your heart rate all the time. So 24 hours a day, well, as long as you've got the watch on your wrist, it will read your heart rate. On my Sunto watch, it's got a heart rate monitor, wrist heart rate monitor, only works and records when I'm doing an activity. So I like the fact that this records all the time. So again, you can go back and check and see if there's been any spikes at any point in time. So it'll just keep recording. All of these things are recorded on the Garmin Connect app. Is it the Garmin Connect app? It is, yes it is. Garmin Connect app. And there's tons of information in there. I'll put a little screen up on the side of the video here so you can just see briefly a few of the bits and bobs, but loads of information. So it records loads of information, the watch, which you can go into detail if you really want to, which I couldn't do any of those things with my other watches. So the app, the interface that goes with the watch is really good. Loads of info. So you can input your weight as well, so you can keep a log of your weight each morning, or however, once a week, whatever you like to do check your weight, input that info into the watch, and then that'll keep a track of it on the Garmin Connect app as well. So you can have a good track and see, you can gather loads of different pieces of information and have them all on one app, which has been quite handy. I used to write lots of these bits of info down on a spreadsheet, so I don't need to now, because I can just input them into the watch and it'll tell me if I've been stressed, how many steps I've done in a day, what my weight is, what sort of runs I've been doing. Really handy to be able to log out all in one place. So I've been using the watch as well to basically, I wanted it to, whilst I was doing activities, runs, I wanted to set myself heart rate zones, because that's something I've not really done before. I've been able to record my heart rate on my old watch, but it's not giving me zones. So I like the fact there were zones. I can input different alarms. So if I go out, if I start doing anything too much and my heart rate goes up too high, you know what a heart rate zone is. But if I go too quick on doing something, a little alarm will go, a little vibration on my wrist, and it'll tell me to slow down. So you can set yourself different zones. So my idea is to, as I'm getting back into my running, hopefully when I get back into my running properly, I can learn how to train my heart a bit better. in the past I will have gone out and I've been running too hard, too fast, and it's not good for your training, it's not good for you. So I want to be able to go at an easier pace and slowly, gradually build up so I can go for the same run slightly quicker but keeping the heart rate down. So the heart rate zones have been really good. I've been using that mainly on the run mode, treadmill mode, walk mode. Where on my treadmill mode you can actually calibrate the watch to your treadmill, because depending on how quick you're going, what your cadence is like and how much you're moving. I keep doing this with my hands, but I'm pretending I'm running. I'm not doing a weird dance. So depending on how quick your cadence is will differ on what the watch tells you in distance. So to get that right, I have calibrated the watch after a run to the distance on the treadmill, just so it's giving me the right information. The cadence is good as well, so you've got a metronome on the watch, so you can run to a certain pace to try and pick your cadence up and have your feet moving at the right amount of time. What am I trying to say? Cadence, metronome. It's on there. It's good. Other things on the watch I forgot to mention. Things like it's got a move reminder. So if you're sat down for too long, it'll buzz and tell you to get up off your backside and go and move about. I turned that function off because I was sitting on my backside and I didn't want to get told to get up and move about. I was busy watching a film. You can also use Garmin Pay, so you can pay for things at shops with a watch. You just got to make sure that your bank is supported with the Garmin Pay function of the watch. What else? That's about it really. There's tons more. You could go really in depth on this watch. Loads of other people do. Still has software updates, so it's 3 years old now, this watch. But it does still get updated. It updated yesterday, had a software update. So it is still very current. It's lightweight, clear and easy to see. It's easy to see as well in sunlight. So in bright conditions when you're out, the type of screen that's on there, it is still nice and clear. On the screens as well, you can set loads of different bits of information. You can have different information scrolling through screens. You can have like 5 different things on your screen, 2, 3. I think I've set it as 3 pieces of information, just the things I want to see. If I have too many bits of information on the screen, I find it a bit hard to see, but that's not the watch's fault, that's just my failing eyesight. So lightweight, easy to use. I like the fact it's got buttons and it's not touch screen, so if it's cold you've got gloves on. It's just nice and simple to use. Its colour, it's great. It's inexpensive now because it's a few years old. I definitely recommend it. I'm really pleased with it. As long as the battery life is long enough for whatever you're going to be using it for, then it's a great watch. Definitely still worth buying. Treat yourself.